Hi, I'm here with Anthony and at Reedman Toll Auto. Anthony purchased his last vehicle with us March of 2010. Thank you, Anthony, for coming today.
You're welcome.
Can you tell me a little bit about the vehicle that you bought?
Yeah, I bought a 2010 Lincoln MKX, and I got it with the EcoBoost, and it was fully loaded, and I've been very, very impressed.
Wow.
I thought I was buying a very nice car. I bought a very excellent car. And this is someone who's been driving German cars for the past 14 years, and Lincoln has definitely pulled me away from them.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad that you're happy with it. Can you tell me a little bit why you chose Reedman Toll to purchase your vehicle?
Well, actually, I had been looking around, and I had stopped at a lot of other Lincoln dealers, and I knew that Lincoln was making a nice car. I was impressed with what I saw, but I wasn't impressed with all the dealers. I had gone to different dealers. They were okay, but Reedman's treated me the way they treated my father back in 1964.
1964?
Yes, that was the first time we ever bought a car. I was about 5 years old, and I was here with them. And we had been here many times for service throughout the years, and we had always been treated well. This was one of the first places that ever used computers to keep track of everything. This was state-of-the-art. When I was in high school, I came here for our business class trip. I wrote a letter to Reedman's and asked them if I could come and bring my class with me and have a tour of how a well-run dealership is. And they turned around and said yes, and we spent the whole day here.
Oh, that's great. That is great. I love to see that, through your father's experience, my goodness, back in 1964, brought you back through the doors. That's amazing.
And this isn't the first time I've been here. I've gotten about 2 or 3 cars myself from Reedman's, but unfortunately the cars that I turned my attention to were like Audi.
Right.
They didn't carry that. And I was impressed with that car for quite a while, but in these times with the economic downturn, I'd rather buy American if I could.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me overall what was your best experience, your buying experience here at Reedman Toll?
Well, first of all, I'm not the easiest client to deal with, all right? I tend to want a car that's fully loaded. I tend to want a car that most dealerships don't stock. Reedman's does. The second thing is that I want a good deal. And I also want the support, because I want a place to be able to take the car and have it serviced the right way. And my salesman understood the kind of buyer I was, and he took his time with me. He knew that I was not going to just jump at any car or jump at any deal. And for example, I wanted to try out the adaptive cruise control. Normally, Reedman's takes you through a test track. You can't do that on a test track. You have to do it in traffic. And I said to him, and he's of course. He took us right out. We went into traffic, and we spent some time in the car. He was explaining everything and helped me to realize that I was buying a car that was worthy of $56,000 price tag. And he was giving the kind of service in sales that was worthy of such a car. And I was really, really impressed. John Watson is his name, and he was a really great salesman. And the manager was excellent, and they treated me like I'm buying a Lincoln, not like I'm buying a Daewoo or a Subaru.
So tell me a little bit. I know with myself, with the vehicles being so technical these days, and especially it sounds like you have lots of fun gadgets on the cars that you like to get. How did you feel leaving the lot? Do you feel like they took the time to really show you all the little trinkets and gadgets and buttons and bells and whistles?
Well, absolutely. See, that's one of the most important things today in cars. Most customers and most young customers are coming in looking for such things as navigation, adaptive cruise control, the Ford Sync. And you really have so many things going on besides the motor, transmission, and brakes. And what makes one car manufacturer over another is something that has to be explained. So that's what they did, and they realized, and they took the time, and they knew that I was that kind of buyer, that you better explain to me why I should spend this money. Because it's a lot of money.
Right. And I guess so, it sounds like you have been to different dealerships. Can you tell me what makes Reedman Toll stand out over the other dealers that you have dealt with?
Well, first of all, they treated me right away like I was going to be part of their family, and that they wanted me in over and over and over again. They didn't treat me like they were going to just give me a great deal for today and never see them again. Buying a car it can be a long-term relationship. I also tend to lease and trade my car in every 2 or 3 years. So I'm going to be here many, many times. And my service is always going to be at the dealership. They understood that. And they realized that this was not going to be something that was an overnight success and they'll never see me again. And they didn't want to make it that way.
Right.
And that was what was different than most dealerships. Most dealerships were interested in making the deal, but not interested in keeping me as a client.
So I guess the last thing I'd like to know, it seems like back in 1964, Reedman Toll made a great impression with your father and therefore passed on that information to you. Would you recommend Reedman Toll Auto to your friends and family?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I have brought other friends and family here. And I came in with a friend to begin with. His name's Chief J. Strongbow Jr. And, you know, we both love the experience, and we also love the cars that we have, and we love the fact that when we come in to get service, everything is done quickly, efficiently. I've already had my first oil change and all that here, and they already knew everything about the car. So, and one of the most incredible things is I can make my appointment online. All I have to do is go onto the Lincoln website, there's my dealership, there's all the open appointments for the service I want to get done, and I do it right from my computer or my smartphone.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? And I know through Reedman you can also fill that same form out on their Facebook page. So we try to make it as easy as possible. Well, I appreciate you so much coming in today and sharing your story with us, and we hope to see you again and again.
I will be back again and again.
Thanks, Anthony.